These cards are so easy to make that you're going to be able to make 3 of them at a time. Hello, everyone, and welcome to sunnydaystamping.com. I'm Julie Baca, and I'm so glad that you're here. We are making 3 quick cards. I've got lots of tips to show you how to do it the easy way. And once you learn how to make these, man, it's going to be like, there are so many different possibilities for how to use this layout. You're going to be able to grab all kind of pretty papers and just bang out these cards really quickly. I also made a bunch of examples to show you just to give you ideas. So let's get started. So there are 3 parts to this card: the patterned paper, the card base, and the greeting. Now you can use any greeting that you want. I am going to be using the Labeled with Love. Oh my goodness, I got one stuck right on the front there. Oh hi, can you see me? Yes, I wear glasses when I do anything up close. Okay, wow, distracted. Okay, I am using this bundle. It is a stamp and punch bundle, but you have the option of getting a stamp and die bundle. It comes with 3 dies that are in this shape. I just love punches, so I went with that route, and I've got some tips to show you on how to use this later. The next thing you're going to want to pick is your patterned paper. We call it designer series paper. It's got 2 sides to it, because after you figure that out, then you'll know which color to choose for your label and which color to choose for your card base. Now for these cards and the ones we're going to make together, I used the Dandy Designs Designer Series paper pack. It's ginormous. There are 48 huge sheets on here. I found this on the clearance rack Stampin' Up. It's still there as of July 2024. I love this one because of the cheerful patterns and the cheerful colors. And so they just make cards for anyone, guy, girl, young, old, whatever. It's going to be great for that. Now, when you get a pack of designer series paper, it comes with this piece of thicker cardstock, and in the tiniest print they could possibly find, they write all the colors that are in that paper pack, which is so helpful when you are going to go pick your inks and your card base. But I cannot see very well, so I blow these puppies up and write all the names on here, and I store my designer series paper pieces, like the scraps, in the page protector. So I've got the names here so I can see them even without my glasses, and then I shove all the pieces in the other side. So I picked 3 pieces out of that same paper pack, the same paper pack that this came from, but I'm going to show you how we can make something totally different from the same pack of paper. So you're going to pick 3 designs that you like. Bonus, if you don't want all 3 of your cards to be very similar, make sure the back sides also go together, because you'll be able to flip one over to create a different card. Now, to keep things simple, I'm just going to pick one color for all 3 card bases, and I'm going to choose the Calypso Coral. It goes with everything on the front or the back side, so that's going to be great. I'm also going to choose that same color to go for my label and some black, just to keep this super low supplies. I'll show you some ideas for stepping it up a little bit in my examples towards the end. So we're going to start by creating our greetings for the front first. So you can stamp these words and just punch them out, or use the die cut to punch them out. But I like to actually use this border. I think it's really pretty. And we're going to stamp 3 greetings all at once. And I'm going to do it all in Calypso Coral. So you just need a basic white piece of scrap paper that's 1.5 inch wide to fit all 3 of those on there. Now grab your black ink and 3 greetings. You can make them all the same or make them different, and just put them directly inside of this border, just making them sure they're centered up. I like that these words, we've got vertical ones and horizontal ones. I love that versatility. Did you see me thinking about what word to use? For goodness sakes, as soon as I turn this camera on, like, my mind goes blank. So one reason why I like to stamp them on a long, narrow strip is it just makes it so easy to punch out, because I can slide it into my punch and rotate it with my other hand to make sure it's lined up. And the way I do that is I put it in here, and once I think I have it lined up, I kind of put a little bit of pressure with this thumb, and then I look, I'm like, is that lined up? Nope. So then I'm going to make any adjustments I need, double check myself. I'm adding a little pressure, and then I punch all the way through to punch that out really easily. Then I push the next one in and do the same thing. Now you can leave these labels just like this, like I did, and stick them right on your card, but I'm going to show you an option for creating a frame around your greeting using the same thing. So take a scrap piece of whatever color you're using for your card base, or something that coordinates with the paper, punch it out or die cut it out, and now grab your paper trimmer and slice this puppy in half. If you're good with scissors, you can just cut it in half. I am not good with handwriting or scissors, so paper trimmer it is. And now decide which one you're going to want to highlight. And then you're going to rotate your papers so that they're in the same direction like that. Because all you're doing is taking this label, separating it a little bit so that it creates a border for your label like that. Now you're just going to grab your glue and just put a thin line on both sides here. And then take your stamped label, grab one of these pieces. And what I'm looking for is for the this edge to not be extending past there. I want it to look like it's seamless, you know what I mean? Then we'll grab the other side and do the same thing. So, like, I guess I should explain myself. So if it's out to here, oh my gosh, I hope I've been on the camera the whole time. So if it's out to like here, you can see that that looks bad up at the front, up at the top there. So you want to, there, it's stuck. Okay. So you want to be able to have it have a nice sloping edge so it looks like it's all one piece. So there, that just gives you just another way to use your punches so that you get more value out of them. So now I've got some paper cutting tips for you. What we're going to do now, I'm going to show you real quick how to cut 2 card bases at one time. Take your cardstock and line it up at the 4 1/4. We're going to score it first. So move your cutting blade out of the way. This is going to score and cut 2 card bases at one time. Now get it out of here, rotate it like this, and cut it at 5 1/2. And you've got 2 card bases that are cut and scored super quick. So you're going to need to cut 3 of those for all 3 cards we're going to make. All the measurements I gave and the rest that you need to make this card are here on this print and make project sheet. You can also get them at sunnydaystamping.com. On the blog post, I have it written on there. But if you like a printable project sheet, I try to keep these all to one page to make it really quick and easy for you to print out and have the measurements right handy. You can scan this QR code if you want to come back and see this video. This is for my email subscribers. I send it out on Friday morning, and then after that, it goes to my tutorial store. So now grab your designer series paper, and I'm going to show you how to cut this because I get really intimidated by these ginormous pieces of paper. So what you do is stack them up. We're going to cut all 3 of these at one time. The designer series paper is thick, but still thin enough to be able to cut 3 at a time. Now with your paper trimmer closed, if you bump up against this edge, that's 6 inches, and you bump up at the top. So make sure you're bumped on both of these sides, and you know you've got 6 inches, and you know it's straight, and then just slice that puppy. So now this is a 6 by 12. You can cut it again so you have little squares if you want, or keep it long. And then I'm going to rotate this, and I'm just going to cut it at 6 inches. I could go ahead and cut it at the 5 1/4, which is what we need, but I am going to cut it at 6. I just like having these little squares. So now if your paper has a direction, which let's see, no, none of these have a direction. You're going to want the direction going like this when you make your first cut. Line these up nice and straight, and we're going to cut it at 4 inches first for the for the front of the card. Now these are scraps that we can use to decorate the envelope or whatever, and then you're going to rotate it and cut it again. And now these are perfectly going to fit on the front of the card. These also, because they came off the bottom of here, they are perfectly in line, the perfect measurement for decorating the inside of the card. So we'll save these, save us time. We've already done the cutting. So now here's the trick for cutting these angles. This is so easy. You don't even have to measure it. So you're going to stack these up. Make sure they are nice and stacked, and decide if you want to cut vertical angles. I've got an example at the end doing that, or if you want them cut horizontally. So now you're just going to put it in your paper trimmer, and you don't even have to worry about this. Any way you cut this, it's going to look awesome. So there's one. But the trick is keep these all together so that the pieces fit together like a puzzle later on. Now put it back in. I don't really want to cut them straight. That's kind of boring. So make sure it's at an angle and then cut again. And there we go. That was all the fancy. It looks so fancy, but man, it was not hard at all. So kind of keep these pieces together. Here, let me put these scraps out of the way, just to make it easier to line up. And what you're going to do is just organize these so they all match. Get your sets all together like this. And then what we're going to do is mix and match. So we're going to trade here, and then we'll trade here. So this has one of each, these don't, so we got to trade here. You have to keep the same pieces together, because these, the ones that are in line are all the same because we cut them that way. So you can't really mix and match any other way. Now, let's say you want to flip this one over to use the back side. Keep it all together. You can't mix and match at this point because they'd be going the wrong direction. And you can see that now we've got a card, totally different look, just flipped it over. So I'm going to keep these kind of together and push them off to the side just so I can show you a trick for attaching these. Look at me trying to keep these together. That's not working. Okay, so grab your card base, line up the corners, and then burnish the edge of this with your bone folder. It's already scored, but sometimes the scoring is not like perfect. It's not perfectly lined up. So I like to line up those corners. Flip it over so it's going to open the right way. And then test yourself. Put them on here first. Lay them out so that the edge is equal here, like this. And now what you're going to do, keep one of these, at least one of these, sturdy while you pull out the middle. And you see that this stayed on my paper. It's holding the border for me so I don't have to mess with it again. So then put glue on the centerpiece and put this back in here. I'm going to hold this piece down because it's holding my margin, and then just slide this in like a perfect puzzle piece, making sure this is lined up and that is lined up. Once you have that there, you can pull these pieces out of the way, and this middle piece is holding the border. So now you can quickly, like not as thoughtfully, put these back in, and you're just meshing that angle up right, bumping those margins right up there. There, like that. So then I kind of push it down, and then once I think it's stuck pretty good, then I take my bone folder and just slide it over the top just to squish that glue. And there, you've got this awesome card front. So now I'm going to do the other two. So right now I just accidentally bumped this. If that happens to you, just slide this back into place, making sure it's got an equal border on those three sides. Hold it there and then put your piece in. Because you've got the nice equal border here, you know that it's going to be equal on the bottom side as well. Oh no, I did this with my other card. I put the glue on the wrong side. The only way to fix this is to either quickly wipe that off or to trade it out with my other piece like that. But that's going to look funny because it's going to have that. So I'm going to try to wipe this off super fast. Hold up. I'm going to grab my silicone craft sheet and I'm going to put it glue side down and see if this will come off. You see the glue is on there. And I don't want to put this on my work surface because then I'd get glue everywhere. Let's see. Hey, that's working pretty well. I can see a little bit of the glue, but I think I can live with that. We might be able to position the greeting to cover up some of the mess. So there, we've got all our card fronts done. So now grab your greetings and kind of figure out where you want each of these to go. And then you can glue those directly on. I really like to use Stampin' Dimensionals to attach these. They're a kind of thicker foam, and it's got double stick on each end. And it's just gonna pop up that greeting a little bit. It creates a little bit of a shadow and just makes it look wow, even though this was really simple. You can grab these with your fingers. I do like to use my take your pick tool. It just makes it easy to get them on and get these little backings off. I loved this one right where those lines kind of meet. It looks so cool. And then this is the one with the border on it. So now the only other thing these needs are some papers to go on the inside. If you're using a light paper, you probably don't need this, but I am going to add it and we're going to stamp on it, of course. So remember those 3 little pieces of extra that we had, scrap. We're just going to add these to the inside card. You can do just like this and don't do any stamping. It just adds that little bit of something special. So if you do want to add some stamps on the inside, you can use just this color and black, but I'm going to add a couple colors here. So for this one, I want it to be a birthday card, so I'm going to use that greeting. And then, I mean, that looks so pretty just like that, but I am going to use this cute little present that comes in here. Stamp it in a light color, and then take your darker color and line up these little spots, and it decorates the gift wrap. So that one would just go right in here. And then on the back of this, just throw that present right on the back. So for the second card, we're gonna do just some flowers. There we go. Actually, I wanna add a little thanks friend. Okay, now it's done. That one will go right in here. Now I'm going to use this butterfly stamp. You can stamp just the outline or you can fill it in really quickly like that. So this is going to go inside here, but make sure to throw a little butterfly on the back of that card. Now let me show you really quickly how to create a coordinating envelope with your designer series paper. Just put glue all over the flap of your envelope and then line up the designer series paper right along the edge of that fold line on your envelope, and then pick it up and make sure it's not extending past, so that is good. And then just thin out that glue with your bone folder, flip this over and trim off the excess. There, that just takes an extra minute, but like, wow, it looks so good. So the other way to just add a little fancy to this card without extra work is just to add some self-adhesive embellishments. These just like glimmer and pop and look so awesome. They take you 2 seconds to throw on here. I always like to use 3. I feel like that looks the best. Look at those, they just really sparkle. Let me show you the other examples. So these were from the same paper pack, but let me show you what it looks like to do a different designer series paper. This is the Perennial Lavender, and you can see I cut it at a diagonal vertically just to give it a different look. Show you the inside of these. So just have fun, grab some pretty paper and make a couple of these. I put out a new card making video full of tips every Thursday, so I'll look forward to seeing you next week. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and you can click that subscribe button and the bell to get notified. Thank you so much for watching. Have a sunny day.